Hey guys, I just wanted to go through really quick and talk about sort of what a works cited page is and show you some of the stuff that I have available for y'all to look at. So, for your research essay, you're going to have to create a works cited page, which this is what a works cited page should look like. After the last page of your essay, it's a separate page where you will list the sources that you got your research from. That's all it is a list of the sources where you got your research from, and it's done in alphabetical order. You can see that it goes last name, first name, the name of the article, the website. Oops. Um, there's a very specific way to set each thing up, and then you have this hanging indentation, which I will show you how to do. So that's what a works cited page is. Some of the things that I have provided for you are a link to this website. And what this website does is that it tells you how to cite things in MLA format. So, for example, if you find a website that you want to use, it's not a UAPTC database, so it's not going to cite it for you. So you're going to come to this Al Purdue, and you're going to come over here and you're going to look and you're going to say, okay, I want MLA works cited electronic sources. It's a web page, so I want that. And then you're going to scroll down. This is very hard to use. I would recommend not using it, but and then you're going to scroll down. Okay, this is basic style. Oh, use the following format. Okay, here's my format of how I should set it up. And then it goes into citing an entire website, course or department websites, a page on a website if I only want to cite one part of it, an ebook, and so an image, so on and so forth. This website tells you how to cite everything properly in MLA format. And what you're going to do is you're just going to make it essentially look like the picture. So it says author, so you're going to do last name, comma, first name, see where it has a period. Where they have a period, you're going to put a period. Where they have quotation marks, you're going to put quotation marks. Where they have italics, you're going to put italics. Where they have a comma, you're going to put a comma. So on and so forth. I also have a integrating quotes and in-text citations PowerPoint for y'all to read. Talks about how the best ways to integrate quotes into your essays and also how in-text citations work. So not only do you have to have a works cited page that shows the list of the sources, but whenever you use information from the sources in your essay, you're going to have to cite them. So you can see here, she has a quote from one of her sources. And you can see we have the starting quotations, ending quotations, and at the end of the sentence, she has her in-text citation. So we're going to look at that, and what your reader can do is scroll down and say, okay, this is the source where she got that information from. If you'll notice, she just has the author's last name. That's totally fine. Usually you want in-text citations to have the first part of your source. So whatever the first part of the source is on the works cited page, be it the author's last name, the title, whatever that is, that's what you're going to put in your in-text citation. So you see here she has taps instead of the author's last name. Some things will not have an author's last name. Some things will not have a volume number. If it doesn't have it, just leave it out. Skip that part in the citation. So if, for example, if I didn't have let's just do this one. If I didn't have a version number, see they don't have a version number in this, they just leave it out. See, a lot of these things say if available. If we have it, that's great. If we don't, we just don't, and we can just leave it out. That goes for pretty much everything in a works cited source. Okay. I also give you some tips and tricks for a works cited page and in-text citations. That is this document. It's essentially, I pulled all of this from Al Purdue. This is just citing an entire website, an article in a web magazine, an article in a scholarly journal. This I go through how to do in-text citations. This is when I used to teach at Tech, so you can ignore this part. This information is still good. I also give you this all about sources documents, which we talked a little bit in the last video. The big thing when you're selecting a source is that you want to make sure that the author of your source is legitimate. So for example, if you're going to write an essay about COVID-19, you're not going to want to get articles from like a podiatrist, because COVID-19 does not affect your feet. You'd want to talk to somebody like a respiratory therapist, cardiologist, neurologist, things like that. Things that are actually affected by this thing. So same thing if you're going to write about global warming, you don't necessarily want a chef, okay? You want somebody who has some experience, some knowledge of global warming. So, and we talked about wikis in the last video. You can use books, movies, videos, just make sure you cite them correctly. Al Purdue will tell you how to cite all of those things. There is even a example of how to cite podcasts, an interview, personal interview, panel discussions, paintings, songs. So yeah, the sky's the limit on what kind of sources you can use, basically. Al Purdue also has an MLA sample paper, and it goes through each thing and shows you. See, it has comments, so you can view that as well. And it, this is a works cited page, goes through each of those. They also just have a sample works cited page that you can look at, and that's this. So yeah, lots of stuff for you to look at. That's just as you find sources, you can go ahead and put them in MLA formatting for your works cited page, which again should be the last page of your essay. It is a list of your sources that should be done in alphabetical order with a hanging indentation. And I'm going to show you how to do a hanging indentation really quick. So let's say we're going to we're going to take her indentation, or her source. No, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, viewing only. Huh. Well, that's okay. I can open a new one. Okay, so here we're going to have all of our specifications already set because it's our last page. And then let me pull this over to the other side so I can see it. So I'm going to have a centered title that says Works Cited. I'm going to hit enter once. I'm going to re-left align. And then I'm going to start typing in my sources. So we're going to say that this is our first source. Okay, so now I have my source listed, and I'm going to go ahead and type in all of my sources. I'll go ahead and type in this next one. And anytime you have a web source, you're going to want to put the access date, which is just the date that you accessed it. So after I get all my sources typed up, and remember for this essay you have to have at least 4 reputable sources. Once I get all of my sources properly formatted in MLA and typed onto my Works Cited page, I'm going to highlight them. And then I'm going to go up here to Insert. Oh no, it's not Insert, is it? It's Layout. I'm so sorry. So you're going to go up here to Layout in Word. You're going to go to the paragraph area, and you see this little box where it has a arrow and a little box with an arrow coming out of it. That's the paragraph settings. So you're going to click on that, and it's going to pop up this box, and you're going to go to Indentation, Special, Hanging. Make sure that it's 0.5, and then hit OK. And that is how you get a hanging indent. You also want to make sure that it is all double spaced. So make sure you change that as well. And that's how you set up your Works Cited page. Of course, you're going to have page number in the top right hand corner, but that's how you do the hanging indentation with your Works Cited page. So yeah. Oh my gosh. So that is what you have in here. Like I said, the big thing about your sources is make sure that your author is someone credible. This is going to help you integrate quotes and in-text citations into your essay. This tips and tricks document is just, it gives you some commonly used sources. You also have the database, which is going to MLA cite things for you. You're welcome to use any medium, podcast, pictures. You can put pictures in the research essay as long as you cite them correctly in your MLA format. And please don't forget that anytime you get any information from a source, you must use an in-text citation, and it always goes at the end of the sentence. So you're never going to have a quote in the middle of a sentence and then the in-text citation immediately after the quote. It comes at the end of a sentence. I don't see any in here that I can give you an example of. But anyway, anytime you get any information, whether that is a fact, a figure, you paraphrase it, you quote it, anything, you have to have an in-text citation, and it is always better to have too many than it is to have not enough. So overuse these in-text citations as needed. So this website is going to be your best friend for sure. Tells you how to use Works Cited books, how to do Works Cited periodicals, all kinds of stuff. This website is going to be indispensable for you. So that's pretty much it. That is quotation or MLA Works Cited and MLA in-text citations. Again, you need 4 sources for this essay, so just think about that while you're going through sources. If you need anything, just let me know. I am going to put up a discussion board for this essay so that we will do our peer review. Essay's not going to be due until Friday, or your rough draft is not going to be due until Friday, and then we'll take the weekend and peer review, and I'll make comments on it, and then it'll be due, I believe the next Wednesday. So, anyway, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available, so except when I'm locked out of my school accounts. But that hasn't happened again. We're going to hope it doesn't. But if you need me, let me know.